When you feel like your understanding is getting worse, it's usually not because you suddenly became less intelligent. What's actually changing is how your brain allocates energy. Here's the core idea. Understanding is a high-cost brain function. It requires three things working together at the same time: attention, working memory, and logical integration. All three are expensive. Now let's look at what happens under stress. When you don't sleep enough, don't eat regularly, worry about money, lack stability, or constantly feel uncertain about the future. Your brain shifts priorities. It doesn't shut down intelligence, it reroutes resources. Instead of supporting the prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for reasoning, abstraction, and comprehension, more energy is diverted to threat detection and emotional regulation. This is not psychology. This is basic neuroeconomics. Your brain has a limited energy budget. Under pressure, it spends that budget on survival-related tasks, monitoring danger, managing emotions, staying alert. Understanding complex information becomes secondary. That's why people under chronic stress show a very specific pattern. They react faster emotionally. They struggle to hold multiple ideas at once. They lose patience with explanations. They feel mentally blocked when learning. Not because they lack ability, but because working memory capacity is reduced. And working memory is the bottleneck of understanding. No working memory means you can't integrate information, and without integration, comprehension breaks down. Here's another key point people often miss. Emotional load directly competes with cognitive load. When your brain is busy regulating fear, sadness, or anger, those same neural resources cannot be used to process new information. That's why emotionally overwhelmed people often say, "I hear the words, but they don't go in." Now let's talk about safety. When you feel safe, physically and psychologically, your brain does something very different. It increases exploratory behavior, it tolerates uncertainty, it invests energy into pattern recognition and abstraction. This is not a mindset issue, it's a state issue. In neuroscience terms, safety allows the brain to operate in a learning-oriented mode rather than a defensive mode. That's why children who feel secure learn faster. That's why adults learn better when their lives are stable. And that's why forcing yourself to focus harder rarely works when your basic sense of safety is compromised. So, if you want to improve understanding, the solution is not just better study techniques. It's reducing unnecessary stress, improving sleep, stabilizing daily rhythms, and creating an environment where your brain doesn't have to stay on guard. Because a calm brain is not a lazy brain, it's an efficient one. If you want more clear, science-based explanations about how your brain really works, follow this channel. More coming next.